Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining my learning module on implementing incentives for increased classroom behavior. This is the initial page that you'll see when you come to the course. You can see that there is a toolkit there, and that's because all the skills that we're going to be reviewing for a new teacher are kind of like the tools that they can add to their toolkit for teaching. The second slide that you're going to see here is the course navigation guide, which will include just your typical navigational buttons that will help the user to navigate the course. And in the top right corner is a menu icon that will refer to the flow of the module, which will have the different sections which you can access as soon as you've completed the prior section, and it can be referred back to any time during the course if you have questions or you want to refer back to a prior section. And so then the learning objectives is the next one. We have about 3 here. I could add more depending on all the different skills that may be required for the position. But these are just a couple of them, which include one on giving public praise, another on different kinds of action types, and then also determining when is a good time to use positive behavior reinforcement. The instructions kind of explain here what will be viewed and what the interaction will be like in the module. After each lesson, there's a brief check for understanding, which is just a quick quiz. And then there's a series of scenario dilemmas that Miss Anderson here is a new teacher, and she's facing these different dilemmas. And you can help her after reviewing the lesson and learning about the different skills involved in each case and how to help Miss Anderson to choose the right option. Now, the scenarios will not require you to actually select only the correct ending or option for the scenario, but rather it will let you explore all the 3 different options before you can move on. And that's just to give the user kind of a different perspective on what would happen if you chose different endings. And then it just says here at the end that after you get your 3 skill tools, which are like badges, added to your toolkit, then you can get the final certification of completion. You'll see the menu bar after each section is completed, and it'll give you kind of your status about where you are in the module. And like I said, you have to complete 1 section before you can move on to the next. So the first lesson is on public praise, and the video here is the first part of the lesson. You need to watch the video about the different concepts, and then here are the key concepts on the right side, which kind of give you a basic summary of what will be covered. And then following the video is a check for understanding, which is a quick quiz. You'll get either a correct or you'll get these 2 options, which are review or try again. And so you can go directly back to, skip back to where and jump back to that part in the lesson where you needed to learn that. Also, this is the first scenario. The script is written out for you, but there's the audio. And when you select one of the options about how to solve this dilemma that Miss Anderson's having as a new teacher, you're given a little feedback about what kind of outcome would come from that, selecting that as an option. And so this is just one example of what would not be the best option to choose. And then after completing the scenario, you get the badge here of the skill tool that can be added later to your toolkit. And we have ta-da, music here that plays. Then you'll see again the menu, which will show you where you are in the course. You can also jump back if you need to. Second lesson on action types, you'll watch a brief video, review the key concepts before you can move on to the next scenario and help Ms. Anderson out. Here's a quick check for understanding. Make sure that you got some of the key concepts, you understand the key concepts from that lesson. We have a true or false question here. Here's another scenario. Shows you that that was a really great option if you chose that one and why. And after completing the scenario, you get a new tool to add to your toolkit. And another status of where you are in the course. At this moment, you're in public narration, which is a skill for teaching. And this is all about public narration. You can watch the video, which will give you the information you need, and then the key concepts here are on the right that you can review. Here's a quick check for understanding. And then our last scenario of this presentation here is, and then some little feedback here about the different options. And our last tool that can be added to the toolkit. And then the final quiz here at the end shows you your status, where you are. The final quiz can't be accessed until you've completed all of those different sections. And it's a series of 5 questions, some of them multiple choice. And I've added a hint button here, so if you're stuck about where it was in the lesson that you reviewed that information, you can click on the hint button and it'll tell you where you can go. And where that, if you wanted to review that information. So here are all of the different test items for that. And then finally, at the end of the quiz, you'll get the results. You need to have a 100% to get your completion certificate, which is called the Master of Skill Tools. It'll tell you what your score is, the maximum score, how many questions correct were answered, the total questions amount, the accuracy, how many times you tried. You can click this button to review the quiz. If you want to go back and redo some of the quiz questions that maybe you did not get right. And then you can click on continue if you did get everything 100%, and you'll be taken to the end, which is the Master of Skill Tools certificate. You can print that, or you can also share it to social media. And that's about it. Thank you for watching and listening for, this is my first ever interactive module, but I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching.